There was a shock result in France's elections overnight. The left-wing alliance defied the polls and beat Marine Le Pen's hard-right National Rally. But as his centrist Prime Minister resigns, what does a hung parliament mean for President Macron? Well, joining me now to discuss this is the journalist Peter Allen. Peter, welcome to the show. So can you set out for us precisely what happened? A couple of weeks ago, Marine Le Pen was set on course for an historic victory. Now it appears an alliance has been formed to keep her out of power. Tell us more.
That's right, Martin. Effectively, what happened was a month ago, the National Rally did extremely well at European Parliament elections, winning about 33% of the popular vote across France. This figure was replicated in opinion polls, suggesting they were the dominant force in French politics at the moment. Because of that, President Emmanuel Macron decided that there should be a parliamentary election. There was no need for that election, but he said, look, if this party really is so popular, let's have a bit of democracy in the country. Let's allow people the chance to put a lot of National Rally MPs in the French Parliament. It was a 2-week election over 2 rounds. And last night, the second round, it was expected to lead to a National Rally absolute majority in the National Assembly, but that didn't happen. Why? Because other parties, and most notably left-wing parties, created a popular front. How that effectively worked was that candidates dropped out of some multi-candidate constituencies in the second round to give one candidate a free run at the National Rally candidates. And that led to the National Rally being pushed into third place. Emmanuel Macron's Together coalition was in second place. And in first place, again, was this new Popular Front, which is made up, again, of a coalition of left-wing parties, many of whom don't get on at all and probably have very little chance of governing together. But they've achieved what they wanted to achieve, which is pushing out the National Rally and keeping Marine Le Pen and her young protege, Jordan Bardella, who's only 28, out of power, Martin.
But Peter Allen, that coalition could come at a great cost. First of all, some of the policies on that left-wing ticket, bringing the retirement age back down to 60, add them all up, rumoured to be 200 billion euros worth of damage to the economy. And some of the characters, this guy called Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the French Jeremy Corbyn. In fact, he makes Corbyn seem quite moderate.
Yes, he's been around a long time, Jean-Luc Mélenchon. He's stood to become president of France for many years. He also leads quite a big party in the National Assembly, France Unbowed, it's called. He does have his constituency. He does get a lot of votes. He is one of the leading figures on this coalition. Remember, his party, France Unbowed, did not win the election. It's very, very important to say that. He was just a member, and his party was just a member of this coalition. And I have to say, Martin, personally speaking, I don't think he's got a chance of being appointed prime minister as he thinks he does. And I don't think that that party will dominate the French parliament, let alone a new French government. I think Emmanuel Macron, in the end, it's down to him now who he chooses to be his prime minister, who he chooses as a government. So these huge spending plans of France Unbowed and Mélenchon, I don't think are actually going to become a reality, actually.
And Peter Allen, we were just seeing pictures on the screen there of widespread civil unrest on the streets of France. We have the Olympics in a heartbeat's time. What's the mood on the streets of France? It looks pretty volatile.
Yes, that's a huge concern. This month was meant to be the start of a huge celebration of everybody uniting behind these magnificent games. They paid billions to put them on here in France. And all this kind of divisive politics was meant to be forgotten. But there was trouble. I was out in Place de la République in central Paris last night, seeing the pictures there. And it did get quite hot at times. There was a lot of tear gas used, no baton charges. Having said that, I have to say, Martin, that I've been watching riots in Paris for the last 20 years. They happen all the time. They are part of the political process. France is nothing if not a revolutionary nation. They're always attacking each other and fighting each other. We have paramilitary police here. They don't exist in the same way in Britain. Policing by consent is what the British way is. The French pay all these thousands of officers to go out with batons and all kinds of weapons to fight the citizenry. It's all very, very common, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But I do agree. I think there will be more of this as we push towards the Olympics, and it's going to be pretty ugly when the eyes of the world are going to be on France.